there's a quoting that an emperor by the name of Shen went for hunting once. And during hunting, he couldn't hunt any bird or animal. He got tired. He was hungry. And he had a bath. And after having a bath, he got relaxed. He asked all his followers, what you have fed into that water that I feel relaxed? They were afraid that perhaps he has, because of that water, got some, maybe infected or facing some problem. They tried to avoid to show him what was lying in that water tub. He checked it, saw certain leaves in that. And he asked them to collect the leaves again, boil them again, and asked one of his followers to have a bath with that water. And asked, after having that bath, asked his follower, what is the reaction? He told them, I feel refreshed. 3000 BC, that's almost 5,000 years ago, Emperor Shen left his kingdom and started compiling data on medicine. That is known as Punzao. Punzao is the title of the book, and that is considered to be the backbone of almost all the herbal systems of medicine as well as the modern systems of medicine. He was not an herbalist, he was not a doctor, he was not a practitioner, he was actually ruling a kingdom, Chinese kingdom. An accidental discovery gave him the backbone of assessing what the natural gifts are with us. And imagine, that book is considered to be backbone of almost all the systems of medicine, that is known as Punzao. Similarly, if you look at what has happened to Egypt, there also documentation was carried out for uses of different plants to overcome certain diseases known as papyrus. Hers Papyrus and Eber's Papyrus are the two books in which we have information about almost 5,000 different plants being used to overcome certain diseases. And they were not botanists, they were not phytochemists, they were not doctors. They were actually naturalists trying to assess what the nature's contribution towards our upliftment is. Now imagine, such things in turn resulted in evolution of different systems of medicine to overcome different ailments, and automatically documentation started. And as you might have heard, that the first document about the medicine that has been compiled is usually referred to as the one that was written by Hippocrates. And even at present, it is said that doctors, after completing their graduation in medicine and surgery, they are asked to recite an Hippocratic oath. And Hippocrates was not again a scientist, he was a naturalist. And he was in turn trying to assess what the natural resources are. But if we compare that data with what we are seeing, what I have been seeing in the last 30 years, changes are immense. And with every passing day, we are trying to assess as to which part, which plant, part at which stage, and for what purpose we can use that. And because of those usages, we are modifying the whole systems of overcoming certain ailments. Look at what we are doing, look at what the present day tendencies are. These are reflective of the fact that the knowledge that we have inherited, the knowledge that we have actually documented and trying to use is backbone of almost all the systems. It is our duty, it's our responsibility to assess what could be our role in trying to not only reassess those documents but also try to commercialize whatever knowledge they had. And imagine what we see if anybody of you has gone to Ladakh. In Ladakh, there's a tradition that whatever cultural concepts or whatever information they have, they write that on rock tablets. And those rock tablets are still existing in Ladakh. And once I tried to check those, I couldn't understand even a single word. I asked Ladakhis, they read that and translated that to me. In majority of those rocks, whatever traditional information their ancestors, Tibetans, Budpas, Changpas had documented, they are still trying to read that and know that. And imagine, in Kashmir, we have seen that sometimes we try to see what are the ancestral documents that are being preserved. Look at the Central Asian Museum in Kashmir University, we have certain evidences stored there. And in all those evidences, information about whatever our evolutionary phenomena have been documented. And if we, as present-day herbalists or naturalists, or as commercial practitioners of medical profession, assess those documents and try to utilize that information to modify it further, results could be wonderful. As you can see, nowadays tendency is there is a shift back to herbalism. In majority of the countries outside Indian subcontinent, the Unani system of medicine, Ayurvedic system of medicine, Siddhi system of medicine, Chinese system of medicine, they are being much more popularized. Reason being that in that the side effects have been seen to be not as drastic as they are in the synthesized medicine. It shows that our ancestral information that has been documented is a backbone of information, and that can in turn be utilized for assessing newer and newer sources. As you can see, whatever document we have to check the official usage of the plant, we refer to that as pharmacopoeia. Indian pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia, United States pharmacopoeia, and so on. But now there is a need to add to those pharmacopoeias in terms of newer plants, newer sources, and we can play a role.
I believe that because I have done my graduation in sciences, that I have shifted to the social sciences. I can understand that every science, whether it is the agricultural science, it is the veterinary sciences, it is the human sciences, medical sciences, or any sort of science, whatever it is, the research ultimately boils down to the component how the society or how the community is benefited by that research. And at University of Kashmir also we have established a center where Altaf Saab is looking after that center, which is a central facility now in University of Kashmir, and which we call by the name of Sher-e. So at University of Kashmir we also try to do a little bit to contribute to our society and to contribute in the research work at our own level. But my request to the young and budding research scholars will be that we as research scholars should be very honest and should be very professional committed to our research, and also we should be sincere to our profession. So any research, because there is a lot of plagiarism happening, there is a lot of copyright issues. So my request, because these are young scholars here in at this gathering today, my request will be that they should be sincere to the research. With these words, I again congratulate and thank you all the participants, and also we are thankful to IIT Kanpur and SCOS Kashmir for collaborating in this endeavor.
When we started, actually, we gave a sort of brainstorm, actually, that it's not easy to combine, actually, the diverse areas. Actually, we come from engineering background, applying to the sort of biological sciences, actually. That was one sort. Then we have the veterinary science and agriculture sciences, actually, the SCOS representing, actually, and fundamental sciences, actually, which the University of Kashmir has very, very fundamental aspects on that, actually, to see what can be very useful. In fact, we changed the title few times, thinking of what can be the most appropriate, actually, for everyone, actually, to be in the sort of, where it can be benefited, actually, and came up with the biomedical sciences and regenerative medicine, actually. Now I hope, the point is, actually, if we thought about it, I believe you all are there, actually, to judge that and evaluate that, actually, that whether we were successful on that mission, actually, and have we understood, actually, from the engineering point of view, actually, what agriculture sciences or what fundamental biological sciences, actually, can be, and vice versa, actually, where maybe you understand, actually, how the biological sciences can be integrated, actually, with the engineering sciences. I think that was the purpose, actually. I'm sure at least many of you may be now aware about, actually, the biomaterials, actually, maybe aware about, tissue engineering, regenerative medicine. I believe that was the purpose, actually, at least to see that we can have those type of inculcated in the minds, actually. I'm sure by this type of interactions, actually, many of them are now aware about, actually, what the areas are. In the country, this area is well separating, actually. The bioengineering, we call it broadly, but the idea is the healthcare research, where it comes under the biomedical devices, particularly considering the healthcare as an important area, okay, which we all understand, actually, has a societal impact. But how that can be looked at, actually, by other domains, actually, and how other domains can integrate it with that. Even it can be agriculture, actually, in that point of view, actually, and of course biological sciences and other domains are well connected in that. So we see, actually, that amalgamation actually and that integration actually maybe can be a sort of way out and to see actually how the things can be.
I would first congratulate the conveners and organizers for this very wonderful today's international conference. And it was very well-timed and well-thought of a program which you have organized. Professor Ashok Kumarji, who is here today, he has been with us, with our University of Kashmir, I believe, a couple of years before, trying to just see that how do we collaborate. And always very passionate, not just to do research in biomedical sciences, but because being at Kanpur, he could just go anywhere in the country. He could find people like us anywhere in the country. This is a very big country. There are some 74 universities like ours, maybe equal number of such kind of colleges where he could also go and see that he could have some kind of those animal models which he could use in his research. But then he's always passionate that he should do some kind of collaboration research with we people in Kashmir region. Thank you, Professor Ashok Kumar Saab, for always being tied to the soil, where from you have emerged. And the organizers, they have organized this conference very well. Let me share here that 3 sciences at least are converging today here. The biomedical sciences, Professor Ashok Kumar, the engineering side, where from he is actually coming, the agricultural sciences. 3 sciences are converging. I believe the goal of all of us is how do we build the quality of life of the people. When it comes to the biomedical sciences or the health sciences, it's about how do we increase the longevity of the life. I believe the life expectancy which used to be some 34 years or 35 years or 40 years long back, way back in 1940s, even in the countries like Japan, it has now reached to almost 80, 85 or 90 years in those countries. A country like Japan, the people who died, it was the lowest in Japan almost 35 years in 1945. In a span of less than 100 years, it has almost doubled. That's how the medical sciences has contributed to increase the life expectancy. But now is the time for the medical sciences to increase quality of the life of the people, both the social, the mental, the physical.
This event would not have been possible from the support from NEHAP to SCOST Kashmir, PERS to University of Kashmir, and SPARK to IIT Kanpur. I thank MMRC University of Kashmir, Proctoral Wing both at Kashmir University, SCOST, IT team, Estate section for extending their support in organizing this event. We're also thankful to all the invited speakers who accepted our invitation despite their busy schedule. I'm also thankful to all the participants who have registered for this meeting and have participated in this 2-day event. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the volunteers who have worked tirelessly for the last 2 months behind the scenes, and absolutely this event would not have been possible without their support. So we'll give all the volunteers a big round of applause for their unwavering support. So with these words, we come to the end of this 2-day event. So we have the award distribution ceremony.